I'd like to call to order the Franklin County Board of Commissioners General Session. Today is April 10th, 2018, and we'll begin with the Pledge of Allegiance led by Commissioner Brown.
I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. First up is our good friend Linda Logan with the Greater Columbus Sports Commission, and in the winter season high school sports state champion certificates. So I think we have some athletes with us today, so come forward.
Just a few.
Yeah, I'd like to also invite Dr. Dan Ross up as well. But on behalf of the Greater Columbus Sports Commission, the Greater Columbus community, we are thrilled to recognize 100% of our state champions from the area today, representing 12 high schools, 4 sports, and of course some of their coaches, administrators, and parents are also with them today. So on behalf of our team, congratulations to the state champions, and of course to Franklin County and the commissioners and the staff for always supporting these efforts.
Number one, we greatly appreciate the fact that you permit us to be here, but what a wonderful opportunity for all of the student athletes and the coaches and the parents to have an opportunity to see you in action. But the fact that you take the time to recognize them, they've excelled in the highest fashion available on the high school level, and you'd be really, really proud of what they've done, how they've represented themselves, their families, and their communities in Columbus. So thank you for having us, and again, congratulations to all of you, well deserved, and I'm glad you're here. 100%, that's awesome.
That's great.
So I believe we have certificates for each, so we're going to have, I think the way we do it is have each school come up, and then we'll do individual presentations and pictures for each school, right? And so
Just prior to that, just a special recognition on behalf of all of us. The women's Final Four was just in Columbus and a week ago. It's hard to believe, a little over a week. And we just wanted to express our gratitude for Franklin County and all the support that we received from all of you for making the event such a big success. So I think just congratulations to you and all of us for hosting such a great tournament. So
Congratulations.
And how about
to
that
the
championship
community.
game?
Oh, how about that, right? The games and the weather, and
Yeah.
so really thanks to everyone that's here, and our community really came out big, and we got some great reviews. So congratulations, and just a simple something that you can share in your office, right?
Yeah, as president, all those things go in my office.
Yeah, you
and
don't
so,
have room.
I
There's
mean,
no
that's kind of the
room.
way this works, so.
Don't believe it.
Yeah. Oh, we come around.
We'll
we're
come
gonna
around.
Yeah.
Wow.
All right, and we'll start this morning with champion in girls swimming from Columbus School for Girls, Jordan Arnu Reese, 100-yard butterfly state champion.
Coach, you want to introduce yourself and your athlete?
So my name is Stephanie Donnelly. I'm the head swim coach at Columbus School for Girls, and this is Jordan. She's a sophomore, and she had a great year. She won the state swimming championship in the 100 fly. She was third in the 200 IM, and the relay was a state runner-up this year in the 200 medley, and she set 4 team records this year. So she's got big plans, and she's going to do some great things. So congratulations.
So I'm Jordan, and I'm a sophomore at Columbus School for Girls. So thank you.
Great. So many more years we'll see you here, huh?
See you.
Yeah, great.
Take a picture.
Picture.
All right, next we have state champions in the boys 200 freestyle relay from Bishop Watterson, Thomas Clark, Michael Vondran, David Koss, and Perry Finnegan.
Hi, I'm Megan Downing, and I'm the head swim coach at Bishop Watterson. We have three of our four. We have three of our four relay swimmers here today. We have Michael Vondran, he's a sophomore. We have David Koss, he's a senior, and we have Thomas Clark, who's also a senior. They placed first in the 200 free relay this year, and they beat two very powerful powerhouses up in Cleveland to get that title, which was very good accomplishment. And they also, these two competed also in the 50 free, and then Thomas Clark also competed in the 200 IM, the 100 fly, and the Trinity medley relay, as did these two other boys. So they had a full house at the state meet, and they did very well.
You guys want to tell us what your plans are after your senior year?
I'm Thomas Clark, and I'm swimming at the University of Tampa next year.
I'm David Koss. I'm just going to Ohio University next year. I'm Michael Vondran, and I'm a sophomore, so yeah, I'm still kind of waiting. Yes, hopefully.
That's great. Thank you. We've got one more if you want to take that one back. Can you get us all in the same frame? I got the step stools. Here we go. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Here we go. 1, 2, and 3. One more. Gotcha. Hey, from you.
All right, and next from Columbus Academy, we have the state champion boys 100-yard backstroke champion Jacob Iseman, and he was also a member of the 400-yard freestyle relay team with Michael DeSantis, Max Driesbach, and Jack Campbell.
I'm Craig Yasko, the head swim and dive coach at Columbus Academy. We have two of our gentlemen here this morning. Max Driesbach and Jacob Iseman. Mike DeSantis and Jack Campbell are back at school with academic obligations. Phenomenal swims. Jacob won the 100 backstroke, and if you ended up watching it, for me, it was the finish. He had a phenomenal finish and just did a great job, set a school record, and was phenomenal there. Our 400 free relay was the second relay win in school history. 1957 was the first one, and when we had our state assembly, we had one of the gentlemen that was part of that team, part of our assembly, to honor that with us. So Jacob and Max, 400 freestyle relay won by about 2 seconds, and I'll let you hear from them. So congratulations.
I'm Jacob Iseman. I swim for Columbus Academy. I'm a junior, and I'll be swimming at University of Kentucky.
I'm Max Driesbach. I'm a senior, and next year I'll be attending Ohio State University.
That's wonderful. We need to get closer in for the picture.
You guys get to hoist the flag?
Yeah, that was awesome. Yeah, that was pretty cool.
Oh, thank you.
You guys take some steps this way, so right there is good, perfect. 1, 2, 3. There we go. 1, 2, 3.
Thanks so much.
Thanks for having us. Quite an honor for that.
Is Dakota Elliott from Upper Arlington here? Okay. Dakota Elliott was the state champion in the 200-yard individual medley, but is not here today. Next we have from Dublin Jerome, the boys 200-yard freestyle relay champions, Grant Sitchie, Weston Fischel, Alec Kayua, and Max Scott.
Oh. Coach.
Yes.
Welcome.
Thank you. I'm Patrick Johnston. I'm the swim coach for Dublin Jerome High School. With us today we have Max Scott. He's a junior. We have Weston Fischel, Grant Cece, and Alec Kayua, who are all seniors. They ended up tying St. X for first place in the 200 freestyle relay this year. This is something that they told me they could do all year. I was a little bit more skeptical, but they believed in themselves and they put in the hard work and they made it happen. Just really proud of the way they swam. Max and Grant were both also individual qualifiers in the 50 and 100 free at the state meet and did well in those events as well. I'll go ahead and hand this off.
You want to introduce yourself and say what you're doing?
My name is Max Scott. I'm a junior, so I'm undecided on college right now.
I'm Weston Fischel. I'm a senior, and I plan to swim at John Carroll University.
I'm Grant Cece, and I'm a senior, and I plan on swimming at Miami of Ohio next year.
I'm Eli Kayuha. I'm a senior, and I'm going to Ohio State.
What school was you going to? Going to Ohio State.
All right, from Westerville North, we have the boys 100-yard breaststroke state champion, Jason Matthews.
We'll get this.
I'm Rich Morris. I'm the head swim coach from Westerville North. Jason had an amazing year. He was the repeat state champion in the 100 breaststroke, came from Pickerington North, transferred into our school district. It was wonderful having him here. 3 school records, including his 100 breaststroke at the Ned Reed meet on December 16th, 2017. He broke the state record, I believe, in the 100 breaststroke. Went to state meet, won the 100 breaststroke repeating, got third in the 200 IM, broke 3 school records, 4 pool records, including part of a relay, and just helped our team, our younger kids on our team, improve. He was a great leader for our squad this year, and it was great having him, even if it was only for 1 year.
That's great.
Hi guys, Jason Matthews. I'll be going to Ohio State next year to swim. Just really want to thank my parents, my coaches, and everybody who got me to where I'm at. Wouldn't be here without them. Thanks.
Next, we have the state champion girls bowling team from Gahanna, Lincoln. We have Delaney Ferguson, Lulu Smith, Taylor Burns, Shannon Gonzalez, and Brianne McKnight.
Hi, I'm Kelly Ferguson, and I'm the head coach for the Gahanna bowling team. This is our girls bowling team. I'll brag on these girls a little bit. These girls are third-year OCC undefeated champs. This year, we won sectionals for the very first time. We won districts for the very first time, and of course, we won state for the very first time. So, girls had a big accomplishment this year. And at the state, you know, if you were there, you know anything about it. We were there. We didn't do so well the very first game. We were ranked 13th after the first game. Second game, did a little bit better. We were ranked 10th. After the third game, these girls took off. If you know anything about bowling, these are my 5 starters, they take all 5 of their scores, they add them together. These girls, their third game had a 1051, which means every girl was in the 200s, and then I had a high 188 girl. So awesome, awesome. And then we do 3 bakers, and it's a very team-oriented sport where you have each girl, number 1 girl bowls the first frame, and then the 6th frame, and then the second girl, and so on. These girls, I made a bet with them. If you guys can do these 3 bakers in the 200s, I'll do something for you. They're like, well, what are you gonna do? I'm like, I don't know. And then Brienne goes, wear this popcorn bucket on your head. I said, sure. Well, they did it. They did all three games were in the 200s, and at the finals, I wore the popcorn bucket on my head, you know, which I think kept them kind of loose. They were laughing at me the whole time, and then we just took off at the finals, and I couldn't be prouder of these girls. So congratulations, guys.
I'm Delaney Ferguson. I'm a senior at Gahanna, and I'm going to Bradford Schools for a veterinary technician.
My name is Lelia Smith. I'm a freshman, so I don't have anything planned yet.
I'm Taylor Burns, and I'm a junior.
I'm Shannon Gonzalez, and I'm going to OSU next year.
I'm Brienne McKnight, and I'm going to Wright State next year.
Next, we have the state champion in Division I girls basketball team from Pickerington Central. We have Bexley Wallace, Kyla Whitehead, Grace Luther, Jelana Stone, Kia Jones, and Adrian Crockwell.
The coach.
I guess first of all, I want to thank you guys for having us today. It's an honor and privilege to be invited to an event honoring so many great athletes. As you can see, this is 6 of our seniors on our team of 15. So much you can say about them, but I'm so glad that they had a chance to have this opportunity to go to the state and actually win it. It's very difficult, and I think what separates these young ladies are their leadership qualities. You know, sacrificing themselves for the betterment of the team. And I have with me my assistant coach, Chris Wallace, today. And I think you guys just got announced, so I don't need to announce the girls, right? Okay. Yeah.
Where you going to school? I'm Kayulani Jones, and I plan to play basketball at Missouri Southern State.
I'm Kyla Whitehead, and I'll be playing basketball at the University of Dayton.
I'm Grace Luther, and I'm going to Kent State for track.
I'm Jelana Stone. I'll be going to West Virginia State for volleyball.
I'm Bexley Wallace, and I'm playing basketball at Penn State.
I'm Adrian Crockwell, and I'll be playing basketball at Oakland University.
Say anything, Coach?
Open a PO to pay flash.
Switch to other hand.
Meryl, have them 3 seconds. There was a very, very special thing that this team did during the year. And I don't think we've had a team compile do for years. talk about Danny and what you guys did. Take 30 seconds to do that.
You want me to do it? Well, we had the privilege of being invited to a tournament up in Delaware over Christmas. And one of the reasons why we chose to go to the tournament, we got paired up with a kid with pediatric cancer. Our kid was a kid named Danny Feltwell from Philadelphia. During our first game, you know, they bring the kids out and introduce him to the team. And he actually sat on our bench with us during our games. Well, that was the plan. During our first game, we actually won the game on a buzzer beater. And he was one of the first ones to jump off the bench and run out on the floor. And he decided that he was in remission, I think, for 7 years. He got really sick that night, and his cancer came back the night that we won. So he was not able to be with us the last 2 games. So it was a lot of inspiration and motivation for us. We visited him in the hospital the previous 2 nights, spent as much time with him as possible. We FaceTime with him. He's a great kid, very energetic. And you realize that when kids, there's people that go through things that Danny's going through. He had a tumor on his heart that was bigger than his heart, which was keeping him from breathing well. And so, but he always stayed in great spirit, even though he knew this was going on. He still, when we went to visit him in the hospital, gave us a scouting report of who we, you know, how we should guard the other team. And, you know, he had his iPad ready and telling us, you know, it's like, Kyla, you need to guard the other girl because she's tall and fast. But it was so much inspiration. And when we won the state championship and cut the nets down, you know, we FaceTimed him to share the moment because we believed that he was watching over us the entire time. And he's doing great. He had a bone marrow transplant about a week ago. And ironically, his bone marrow donor was a perfect 10 match from Ohio, believe it or not. So there were so many things that went in our season, but Danny definitely gave us a lot of inspiration to know that there's so much bigger things in life. And I think that gave the girls something to fight for, and we adopted the phrase, do it for Danny. So, and I think that was what kind of kept us going. So, thank you.
Congratulations, ladies.
Good luck.
Yeah, congratulations.
Next, we have the Division III state champion girls from Columbus Afrocentric. We have Ayana Hairston and Antoinette Williams.
My name is Coach Will McKinney. I'm the head girls basketball coach for Columbus Afrocentric. Antoinette Williams and Ayana Harrison are 2 seniors. Not only are they good basketball players, but more importantly, they're phenomenal students and exceptional leaders. This year, we had an opportunity to win the state championship in 2018. Last year, we lost in the semifinals of the state Final Four, and in 2016 we actually won the state championship. So these young ladies have had an opportunity to actually play in 3 state Final Four games and had the opportunity to win 2, which is a great accomplishment. They're going to go on to be outstanding students at the next level and also play basketball at the next level. And also I wanted to say congratulations to the Sports Commission for a fantastic women's Final Four. It was one of the best Final Fours that I've been to, and I've been to quite a few of them. And Columbus did an extraordinary job with that. And I just wanted to say congratulations to the Sports Commission, everybody who had something to do with the women's Final Four. It was absolutely probably one of the best. I talk to college coaches all the time, and they've all just raved about how great the women's Final Four was here in Columbus. It was just a great opportunity for girls basketball, and I think that Columbus did a great job.
Hi,
Hi, I'm Ayana Harrison, and I'm a senior, and I'll be attending Central State next year.
Hi, I'm Antoinette Williams. I'm also a senior, and I will also be attending Central State next year.
All right. And now to the state champion wrestlers. From Central Crossing, we had the 160-pound state champ Jaden Maddox.
Thank you. My name is Jamie Ramirez. I'm the head wrestling coach at Central Crossing High School. I want to thank the Greater Columbus Commission for inviting us today, and I want to congratulate all you athletes out there. What a remarkable achievement. We're recognizing Jaden Maddox here. He had a remarkable career for us at Central Crossing. He leaves with the school record of 173 wins and only 6 losses. He set the school record there. He competed in 4 state final appearances, and he was a 2-time state champion. So what a remarkable career, and we're looking forward to him finishing that career at Ohio State University.
Yeah, a little bit. My name's Jaden. I want to say thank you to Mr. Marshall and Mr. Dew, my athletic directors, my coach Ramirez, and the rest of my coaching staff. You guys for having me here, and congratulations to all the other athletes. And like my coach said, I'll be attending the Ohio State University next year, so thank you.
All right, next we have the state champion at 170 pounds from Olentangy Liberty, Carson Karchla.
I'd like to thank everybody here for inviting Carson and Olentangy Liberty to represent everybody here. Well, Carson had a great year this year. He was a state champion. He was the 3rd wrestler that I've had that was a state champion, his first time ever making the state tournament. It's a really hard feat to do. But most of all, I'm proud of Carson because he's a really humble young man who's the kind of person that you want to be in your program. He's very trustworthy, a good team leader, and does all the things right. Olentangy Liberty is very proud to have a wrestler of Carson's magnitude. He's somebody that you want in your classroom. He's somebody that you want on your wrestling team. We're very proud of his accomplishments, and we'd like to thank Ohio High School and Greater Columbus Commerce Convention for having us here. Thank you.
I'm Carson Archlaw, and thank you all for having me here, and thank you guys for putting this on and recognizing the athletes in Columbus, Ohio, because sometimes we don't get that much recognition, so it's good to know that there are people that do recognize us. And I'm a junior, so I'm undecided for college, so thank you.
That's great.
One more.
That's
Thank you.
good luck.
Yeah.
Thank you. Good to see you. Congratulations.
All right.
His oldest and my daughter are going to Nicaragua together.
All right. And last, in Division 3, we have the state champion at 195 pounds from Grandview Heights, Hudson Jump.
So I'm Sam Mailing. I'm the head coach at Grandview Heights. Biggest thing I want to say about Hudson, just like many of the athletes in this room, he embraces challenge. He doesn't want what you guys, I always call it an empty win. He wants it to be the hardest thing possible for him. So when he wins something, he knows he earned it, and he's not a champion of something very small. Like I could be the champion of beating everyone up in this room or something like that. It's nothing. It's marginal to what he wants in life. But a high character kid, excels in the classroom, just a great guy to be around. So, congrats.
Hi, I'm Hudson Jump. I'm a junior and I'm currently undecided.
I know to the athletes that are here, I don't know that there are really words that wisdom that I can share with you other than to share my own experience. I myself was a Division I college athlete, and I can tell you what I learned being an athlete at the collegiate level as well as the scholastic level are very much things that transfer in life. The hard work that you put in to achieve your goal, the team element of what you do and what you represent, and then being a role model to other people by your actions. All of those things will play out in life for you in a very significant way. And I want you to know that this experience as a champion is something that you should cherish as well. Not everyone can go through life and call themselves a champion. And it's an experience that you may not ever get to experience again. And so value it, appreciate it, and let the moment soak in because you earned it. And championships and champions are not given, they're earned. And that's what you've done. And for the rest of your life, you'll be known as a champion. And there's no words that really can highlight what that means and how much that will play out in your life. You'll find yourself as an adult, as a parent, or in your profession, and you'll think back to the time that you were in high school and you were fighting to win the championship, and you hurt your leg or you hurt your hand or something wasn't right, but you fought through it. And then together as a team, you triumphed, you stood on that court or on that field or at your school, and you celebrated that moment. And just know that life is very much like that. And I want to just encourage you to continue to apply that same kind of effort in everything you do, and good things will happen to you. And so good luck to all of you. Thank you for being here, and congratulations once again. I'll certainly give my colleagues an opportunity to make comments as well.
I'd like to also echo what you said and add to that. Thank you to the parents who have really helped their students get back and forth to practices, given up some things perhaps, given up some dates perhaps. This is a family effort, and it shows when you're champions that you've embodied the things that were talked about today: leadership, integrity, I heard, academic success, just good citizenship in school. You are that, and that's life learning and life lessons that I just think you guys are amazing and have an amazing opportunity to make a difference in the future.
Well, first I want to apologize for being late. Second, as Kevin said, we sit up here, you guys are in the prime, it was just, you guys just accomplished this here in the last few weeks. And years and years ago, we sat where you sat. Some of you may have seen me reminiscing there for a moment with Coach Marinelli. Years back, I had an opportunity to be a part of a state championship team. I wrestled at Bishop Reedy, so Mr. Jaden from Central Crossing grew up on the same side of town that I did. But when you're part of something like that, and you're a champion, you remember it, and you'll remember it for the rest of your lives. And the hard work that you put in and the effort that you gave, it never goes away. Everything that you do in the rest of your life, you remember that effort that you put in to become a champion. And it kind of carries through in the rest of the things that you do throughout the rest of your life. But I always say this, we do this 3 times a year. We do it for the fall athletes and the winter athletes and the spring athletes. And I say this every time, don't let this become the most important thing that you accomplish for the rest of your life. Don't look back in 30 years or 40 years and have this be the crowning moment of your life. Go on to accomplish more. Go on, let this be the lesson and the example that propels you to something even greater than this. Don't be like Bruce Springsteen's song "Glory Days." Don't let this be the biggest thing that you ever do, and be that person that looks back on this and this be the biggest thing in your life. Make this be the thing that catapults you on to greater accomplishments. Let this experience of you becoming this champion and the efforts that you put in to doing this be the thing that then shows you how to be the roadmap to greater accomplishments in your life. So congratulations, and don't forget, as Marilyn always reminds us, don't forget to thank your mom and dad. Don't forget to thank your older brothers and sisters and your little brothers and sisters, because they put up with a lot. For what you just accomplished, they had to put up with a lot. I have 4 kids, and my boys have to put up with a lot for what their sisters go through for softball, and my daughters have to put up with a lot for what their brothers put up with for all the things that they go through. And so don't forget to thank your families, because they sacrifice a whole bunch for you getting to where you are today too. So congratulations, everybody. Job well done.
To the athletes, if you want to go ahead and leave, you can. You don't have to stay, but you're welcome to. As much as you want to, you can stay and share with us today. Next, I'd like to call up Ken Snacky and recognize him. We'll give the room a moment. As they're leaving out, where's that mic?
Do you have
Marty
the
has
mic?
the mic.
Oh. Superintendent.
Oh, yeah.
Probably should have told everybody what a great athlete Coach Marinelli was.
Oh, my.
Old Tangy Liberty coach. He was a superstar wrestler at DeSales back in the day. He's got I think it's a nephew that just wrestled for Iowa.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Marinelli's is some of the great men back in the day.
Yeah. Yep. And now the room is empty. We should have kept them all here to recognize Ken. Now the room's empty, Ken.
My name and it cleared out the house.
But you're on TV, though, so.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, the hallway's full. After they leave, everybody will come back in.
Yeah.
Then we got everybody coming in now.
It's always good to see Dr. Ross here.
Yeah. You know, he's still waiting for his heart transplant. He's got pumps.
For sure. Same number. Yeah, my number's same. It's the same, yeah.
Oh, man. Waiting for these antibiotics to kick in, man.
All right, let's go ahead and continue with our agenda for the day. Ken, I hope
They'll close those
I hope you
doors.
aren't offended that we kicked everybody out for your presentation, but you're on TV, so
Just
that's all
mentioned
that
my name
matters.
and they all departed.
No, they.
It's kind of the
you know, as soon
usual
as I said it,
schedule
they
with
jumped
me.
up and took off there. But certainly, we want to welcome you here and recognize you for your induction into the International League Hall of Fame. And certainly, I know we've got a home opener coming soon, and we'll talk about that as well as some other events that are happening at the stadium.
Okay. It's hard to believe that this is the 10th year of Huntington Park, so
Yeah.
it's also the 42nd year of the Clippers. We were waiting for something special. In 1989, we hosted the second International League All-Star game, and people have been asking ever since we moved, when are we going to do it again? Well, you know, we had to rally the community to help us build that beautiful ballpark, so we needed to wait for something special. I thought the 10th year would be that something special. So Linda Logan, now that she's got the Final Four under her belt, she's ready to tackle our next big project, which will be both the AAA All-Star Game in July and also the AAA National Championship Game in September. It'll be the first time that one city has hosted both events in the same year. So yeah, I am a little crazy at times. I've also told the Cleveland Indians that the host city has never been in this game, and I need that to change in September. So, you know, we'll see how it goes. We've got Huntington Park continues to get rave reviews. 7 times in our first 9 years, we've been named by one publication or another the best ballpark in the country. You know, we went in and we put a new field, so we'll have a new playing surface for this year. And I want to thank all 3 of you, and especially Ken, for helping advance us the money, which we will pay back plus interest on the new scoreboard, because that is going to be a real wow factor on this Thursday when we open the ballpark and welcome the fans back. So on behalf of all the fans, I want to thank you for all you've done to help us throughout the years. You know, the honor of getting into the International League Hall of Fame, I guess that just means I've been around a real long time. I'm only the 3rd Columbus executive to be in there, following 2 pretty good people, and Harold Cooper and George Sisler. And we're only the 14th non-playing personnel ever to be inducted. So that's quite an honor, but you know, it's a bittersweet moment with the other things we've gone through and the loss of my wife. So this year is going to be kind of a funny year, but hopefully when we look back at the end of it, it's going to be another successful one for the team and the community. Thank you.
Well, Ken, the weather forecast for Thursday is for 72 degrees, you know, believe it or not.
The man upstairs and I talk regularly.
Good for you. Good for you. Well, it's I can't hardly believe it, but 72 degrees on Thursday will be very welcome.
Would be
Since it
very
was like
nice,
27
wouldn't it?
degrees yesterday, that'll be quite a turnaround.
I went to my daughter's game at Muskingum on Sunday, and it was 37 degrees. Sat in a pretty chilly up on the hill in New Concord, Ohio. It was pretty chilly, but I'll be much happier with 72 degrees on Thursday. So my wife asked this morning if we were going to the game. I said, well, you don't have to go, but I'm going.
Well, hopefully she'll come too.
Yeah, hopefully. So.
Okay.
You know, Ken, I don't think we say it enough to you how much you are appreciated by all of us because of what you've done with Huntington Park and before that with the Clippers in general. It's unusual to have somebody of your caliber and your longevity doing what you do, and though we don't often say it, we do appreciate very much all that you do.
Thank you. I don't feel like I've
Matters.
ever worked a day in my life, so it's really been a wonderful ride for us.
42 years, huh? My mother-in-law says she's 39. Is it kind of the same way there?
Yeah, I started when I was 2.
Yeah, I was gonna say, yeah.
Well, Ken, I'm 46, so that means something.
It means I'm a little older.
Right. Yeah, it means
Why don't you
something.
rub it in a
We'll
little
just leave
bit.
it at that. But I will say, you know, Franklin County in Central Ohio is experiencing the type of growth that really only happens once in a generation or even a lifetime. And one of the elements that I think highlight that is what you've been able to do with the Clippers organization.
Thank
and
you.
As part of Central Ohio, I mean, it is definitely and without a doubt a crown jewel of Central Ohio. And no matter if you're a baseball fan or not, you know Huntington Park, you know our Clippers, you love them, and you know that they're part of this great community. And so you should feel good about having contributed to that legacy as part of Central Ohio, and knowing that it will carry on far beyond any one of us and into generations to come. So thank you for what you've represented.
Just
throughout
like the
years.
three of you know, we have a wonderful staff. I've got a great staff. Some have been with me almost 40 years, so that just makes for a wonderful situation. So very blessed to have great employees. Thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
And next we have, I'm not sure who is with us from the Ohio Machine to receive this, but if you could come forward. We have a resolution recognizing the 2017 Major Lacrosse League National Champs, the Ohio Machine.
My name is Ryan Chenault. I am the team president for the Ohio Machine, and joining me is head coach Bear Davis. Last year, 2017, was a landmark year for our organization for the game of lacrosse. It started off with us opening up Fortress Obetz in the trophy right there. Yes.
Wow.
It started in May last year when we opened up Fortress Obetz, which is the nation's very first professional lacrosse specific stadium. In a partnership with the village of Obetz down there. 7,000 seat stadium, state-of-the-art, beautiful home. We are the only team in our league to have our own home. And it translated to success on the field with Coach Davis taking the team to the playoffs for the 4th straight year, but capturing our first ever Major League Lacrosse championship. And was really special in doing that because of the 25 guys that are on our roster, none of them had won it before. So when we defeated Dallas, who we had lost to the year before, defeated Denver and Dallas the year before, it was a pretty special moment. And carry that around. It's a very heavy 75-pound trophy, but we're looking forward to it, and it's just the start. I mean, really, when you look at what Fortress Obetz does and what the game's been happening, from the success at the college level with Denison and Ohio State with their runs, with the Ohio High School, we saw some of those great student athletes, but now that being a sanctioned sport on the boys and the girls side, it's a very bright future for the game of lacrosse in the state, and we want to see us lead the way at Fortress Obetz.
That's great.
Want to say a few words? I love your name, Bear. It's perfect.
No, I just want to thank you guys for having us here and inviting us here to recognize this trophy and our accomplishments. Our guys work so hard. We're a unique professional sport where our guys they're not all together all the time. They do fly in, train together only for like a Friday night and a walkthrough on a Saturday, and then play Saturday night. It's a very unique situation where they have to be extremely disciplined on their own to train. They are the best players in the world, and many of them compete on our Team USA, Team Canada, and those teams. So as our sport continues to grow, we appreciate the support and the recognition and getting the sport out there so these guys can maybe someday become full-time at what they do and what they love. So really appreciate it. Thank you. And if you guys haven't been to a game, you should take the time to come down to the Fortress and see the beautiful facility that Ryan spoke of, and see this game. It's a really fun, fast action game that I think a lot of people would appreciate if they got to see it live.
Lacrosse is beginning to grow here in Central Ohio. How long has it been sanctioned by the Ohio High School Athletic Association?
This will be the second year.
Yeah.
So my niece and nephew played, it's been, good Lord, it's been 10, 12 years ago now. Before it was sanctioned, they played for the Dublin schools. My niece actually played for the Buckeyes as well. And when she played for the Buckeyes, it was a sport that was only really big on the East Coast. And now it's gotten bigger and bigger, and it's moved more Midwest, and it's become a bigger sport across the Midwest, and even it's becoming bigger across the country now, where 12, 14 years ago, it was really only an East Coast sport.
Well, I think that's one of the reasons why the league is very bullish on having a team here located, especially when you look geography, where you can draw for 3-hour radius and where it pulls from. I mean, for our 7 home games, we will have 6 additional tournaments around those, bring people as far away as Wisconsin, Pittsburgh, I mean, just all over to our games. So again, when we talk about being the epicenter for the region, this is where we are, and we're really excited. And we want there to be continued growth at the high school level, at the recreational level, because that just continues to float up. So much in the fact that actually 2017, U.S. Lacrosse, our governing body, actually named Ohio, it was Ohio's year for lacrosse, with the success of the teams and what's actually happening in the growth. So special stuff.
That's great.
I have a very large family, and those nieces and nephews are in their late 20s, early 30s. But I also, on my wife's side, now have nieces and nephews that are kids that are 6, 8 years old that are playing this sport now. So it's really a sport that's on the rise. So, well, congratulations. I was saying that trophy is almost the size of Commissioner Brown. So that's a big deal. I was going to have you put it up on the dais, but it's
I don't think so.
probably too big to do that with. So, well, let's go out and get a picture.
Congratulations.
Congratulations.
Oh, that's awesome. Get those things from you.
So much.
That's it. You want to stand by there?
It's almost as tall as you.
So you say the president gets better? It's his mom.
Oh, sure.
There you go. Okay, thank you. Thank you.
Oh, yeah, I bet. Thank you so much. Robyn, can I shoot that thing frame?
Yeah, that's what I was gonna hit. Can we get this framed? Can we get this framed, do you think?
Yeah.
Oh, great. We're gonna have that framed. We've been talking about putting some shelves up in the briefing room or something for all these sort of communal awards that we've been getting and different things like that. So that jersey will look nice in there, representing the Ohio Machine. So down to business. We could
And
just
maybe we can get that Ben's Bengals picture framed and put it
I think we
into.
need that framed.
Right. Okay, all right. Is there a motion to approve the minutes from the January 16th, 2018 general session and the minutes from the February 22nd and March 8th, 2018 briefing section?
I think you're up, Marcia. Am I up? Who's up?
You are.
Me? Move approval of the minutes?
Second.
Moved and seconded voting, Commissioner O'Grady,
Yes.
Commissioner Brown.
Yes.
Commissioner Boyce.
Yes.
Minutes have been approved.
Great, the minutes are adopted. It is my pleasure at this time to announce the Board of Commissioners Employee of the Year, and certainly will allow for my colleagues as well as our county administrator to make comments. Let me just say, I know this is one of the people I nominated to, so I'm really excited about
Oh, he's taking
this.
credit now.
Totally, because I think she's an absolute rock star. But it gives me great pleasure to announce Robyn Deaver as the Board of Commissioners Employee of the Year. And, I just want to say, you are very well deserved, and I'm sure all three commissioners recommended you, as well as the administrator and everyone else. But you really do set the tone for what I think is just the right word is attitude. I don't know, energy, support. There are several people around here that I just think really represent the true meaning of what it means to be a public servant. And you understand what we do. You work hard at it. You are beloved around here by everyone, and just want to continue to encourage you to do what you do and be who you are, and to continue to make the great contributions to all of our offices and Franklin County. So congratulations. Well deserved.
Well, I always, you guys have heard me say for years that it oftentimes is difficult to make us look good. And in 2017, Robyn made all of us look very, very good with the work that she did to organize the National Association of Counties conference that we had, or the annual convention that we had here in Columbus. Folks still talk about whenever I travel across the country to the large urban county caucus or the National Association of Counties. Whenever I travel, I was going to say it to Ken when he was here, when we had folks here last summer for that conference, and the comments that they had to say about the ballpark and about the Clippers, everything about that conference. People are still talking about Columbus. They're still talking about the conference. We had a conference call last week about the Community Economic Workforce Development Committee, and we were talking about Nashville and having to go to Nashville this summer, and they just, at the end of the conference, we were talking about the agenda for this coming summer's conference, and the last comment they made was, "Oh, I don't know how we're going to be able to top last summer." So Robyn did a fantastic job making not only the three of us look good, but making this community look good. And Columbus is doing phenomenal things. Franklin County is doing phenomenal things. But to put it together in the way that this community did, and Robyn led that effort, to be able to showcase what Franklin County has and what Columbus has, was a phenomenal effort. And she led all that and led all of us. And so thank you. Thank you for that. Thank you for what you do, and your colleagues are the ones who voted for you. So it's a fantastic recognition.
Robyn, I'd just like to also thank you for the not big things too. You've done so many events and programs, and you've done them so well and so visibly and so well. But it's some of the littler things too that matter. The resolutions for ceremonial use that you've done for us, all of the work that you've done in helping to organize smaller things that we are all involved in. Thank you for that. You know, it's the big things that show, but we know and see the smaller, important things, recognizing people for what they do.
I'm so honored, and I'm just humbled and love working with each and every one of you, and this community is easy to work in and be a part of, and it's not hard to get behind great leaders like you, so I couldn't have done it without exceptional leadership and direction from all my colleagues, and Tyler and Marty and everybody. I just took good direction, so I appreciate everything. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
County Administrator, you want to say something?
Yes, I'd like to speak briefly. As County Administrator Robyn, I would like to applaud you on this honor. It's truly deserved. You were brought in with a task laid out, and you overperformed. You have built a reputation. Other conferences that are on deck, such as ICMA, folks like that are looking to you so that they can borrow some of the things that you put in place with NACO. I have the fortune of having worked with you very early on in my career. And life is about bridges. We both went across bridges and went other ways, but I was fortunate enough to see the opportunity and be a part of bringing you to Franklin County, and it truly has paid off. So we are all truly blessed to have this opportunity to work together, and I'd like to commend you on this honor and future honors to come. Thanks.
Thank you. Thanks, everybody. Thank you.
All right, down to business. So first up, the engineer's office. And we have a public hearing, and so can the clerk please read the public hearing?
Regarding the authorization of an additional $5 motor vehicle license fee for Franklin County, Ohio pursuant to 4504.24 of the Ohio Revised Code.
Good morning, Commissioners. My name is Cornell Robertson. With me today is
Carla Marable.
Thank you. So I'd like to open up the public hearing for this resolution. Is there anyone here in the audience who would like to speak? Actually, I have several speaker slips on this. Okay, just reading the notes here. A few comments I do want to make with regards to the rules for speaking. To ensure ample time for all who would like to address the board, please keep your remarks to 3 minutes. Speakers at the hearing at the Franklin County Engineers $5 permissible motor vehicle license fee will limit their remarks to that topic, and speaker remarks may not obtain, I'm sure they won't, obscenity, commercial advertising, defamation, slander, speakers will conduct themselves nor will speakers conduct themselves in violation of disorderly conduct or disturbing a public meeting provision of the Ohio Revised Code. All comments should be directed to the Board of Commissioners. Then finally, permission to speak may be denied or terminated if remarks are disrespectful or antagonistic. It's hard to say, antagonistic. And the reason why I wanted to read those rules is because I really want to make sure, all the people speaking in favor are in favor today, but I just want to be consistent for future purposes when sometimes those issues may have to be addressed. So in the name of consistency, I wanted to read those rules. Our first, these aren't time stamps, so I'm just going to go, oh, wait a minute, they are. Well, no, they're not.
Oh.
Just the one is time stamped. So I think these should be time stamped though, but only one is time stamped. So I'm going to go with the one that I have time stamped, and that's Dean Ringel first.
Well, hello. How did
You're
you
a good
get
rule
your-
follower.
That's right, I follow the rules, so. Dean Ringel, County Engineers Association of Ohio.
Good to see you.
Executive Director, Commissioners, very good to see you. It was kind of like a little homecoming reminiscing of days in the past, but I'm obviously here to support the Franklin County Engineer on the desire to have the $5 permissive fee instituted. Don't know what he's got on his presentation, so I don't want to steal all the thunder, but in general, it's been 30 years since the $5 permissive fees were allowed to be introduced, and so it's been that long of a stable income, but we've had pretty much double-digit construction costs going up through that whole time period. And so it was very nice to see after years and years of work to get the state legislature to, again, have another $5 fund that the commissioners are allowed to vote on this year. So far we've had 5 counties around the state that have already passed the $5 fund. And we've got 5 more that have hearings set up, and another 9 counties that are trying to see if they can get on the schedule. So it seems to be worthy, and just had a friend last week hit a pothole, caused $900 damage to his car, and he was more than willing to pay $5 or a little bit more than the $900 he had to pay. So. One thing I wanted to share, and then I'll be available for questions if you have any. There's a quote from Thomas McDonald. He was the chief of the U.S. Bureau of Roads from 1919 to 1953, so a long tenure. And it's a good perspective about the importance of our roadway system. It says, "We were not a wealthy nation when we began improving our highways, but the roads themselves helped us create a new wealth in business and industry and land values. So it was not our wealth that made our highways possible. It was our highways that made our wealth possible." So I think, from the ability to travel, to connect cities, to get people to schools, to get people to doctors, I mean, the roadway system is very important, and even supporting mass transit and public transit, all important, and I appreciate your willingness to consider these additional funds.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Any comments or questions? Nope. All right. Next, we have William Murdoch.
Good morning.
Good morning, Commissioners. I'm William Murdoch, the Executive Director of the Mid-Ohio Regional Planning Commission, also known as MORPC. You know us as an association of 60 governments in Central Ohio, including Franklin County. We work on funding and collaboration and, of course, transportation. We're always grateful for the Commissioner's support for our work. I'm here to talk about the $5 increment that you're contemplating. One of the things that we do at MORPC is we use data and policies and other tools to help Central Ohio governments make informed decisions for their future. We're focused on helping Central Ohio think about their economy, their people, everything from transit to commerce. To achieve that goal, we think that long-term funding is essential at every level, but a long-term lack of federal and state investments mean that local governments like Franklin County are increasingly burdened to maintain and enhance their infrastructure, even as they've been more efficient than ever. Ohio's largest county, as you know, is now Franklin County, and it's growing quickly, and we think this creates an urgency to find new funds to fix and improve the roads and bridges we have now, but to get ready for growth. And I know we're all familiar that we live in the largest and fastest growing region in Ohio, and we could add up to 1 million people. For Franklin County, what that means based on our projections is the county by 2050 could have 1.5 to 1.9 million people. This is several 100,000 more than you have today. In light of this growth, we're thankful that you have a new tool to consider for roads and bridges. We know that last year's Ohio transportation budget gave the ability to raise the license fee by $5 exclusively for roads and bridges. As you'll hear from the Franklin County engineer, this increase could generate millions for road and bridge maintenance in the county. We think this small investment by motorists will directly produce the funding that they need to make their commutes smoother, safer, and less congested. It also allows the county to better compete for funds from the Ohio Public Works Commission or MORPC. Over $50 million a year could be available, but they require local match, so more funds means more road and safety and bridge projects for the county. We also think the county could use new innovative financing tools like the transportation improvement districts. This could turn this small fee increase into a much bigger impact for the county. It could accelerate projects, bring in private sector collaboration, and fund these jobs, these vital road investments for our jobs. So in conclusion, keeping our system maintained while preparing for growth will ensure our quality of life improves and will help a fast-growing county of Franklin County. We think it's critical for you to smartly consider every tool, including this small fee, to keep our roads safe, less congested, and ready for growth. Thank you for your consideration.
Thank you, William.
Are there any comments or questions? Nope. All right, next speaker is Laura Kaprowski.
Good morning.
Thank you. Good morning, Commissioners Boyce, Brown, and O'Grady. I'm Laura Kaprowski, Vice President of Government Affairs and Strategic External Communications at COTA, or the Central Ohio Transit Authority. And we're really pleased to be here today to show our support for an additional $5 annual license fee per vehicle registration for the county to invest to maintain our local roadway infrastructure. Streets that people use every day often seem free, but they're not. We all know they take millions of dollars to invest in to keep them safe and operating properly for all of our residents. At COTA, we provide more than 60,000 trips every day through our service, helping people get to jobs, to school, to doctor's appointments. And we need our roadways maintained so that they have a safe way to get to their end destination. As has been mentioned already, our revenues are not keeping up. And working on an issue like this for a number of years, we know that, I know personally, that it hasn't been, the gas tax at the state level has not been increased since 2005. And it's been since 1993 that the federal gas tax has been increased. So it's really tough for localities like Franklin County to keep up with the needs. And as William Murdoch just mentioned, we're a growing region as well. Just to also personalize it to COTA's experience, when the roads are not able to be maintained and there's unfortunately not good pavement, and we have an instance such as a flat tire at with a COTA vehicle, it can cost us at a minimum of $500, but that doesn't count the bus being out of service, what it does for our customers whose day is disrupted. We also are pleased to know that these funds can help maintain our roads through ice and snow removal. That's, again, really important, and we count on the county engineer staff to help us out in that way, especially with such a long winter that we have recently had. As has been also stated, we're glad that 5 counties have already undertaken this to show it's needed. It's helping our other transit authorities around the state. So in conclusion, again, COTA is very supportive of this measure. We really believe that the roadway infrastructure being properly maintained helps our service, but just a final emphasis, it's about getting people to jobs. It's about our quality of life. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. If there are no comments or questions, thank you so much. Next, Sheriff Dallas Baldwin. Sheriff, I apologize. I didn't realize your speaker said I would have had you first. Apologize.
Well, I'm Sheriff Baldwin, President Boyce, Commissioner O'Grady, Commissioner Brown. From the Sheriff's Office, we are highly in favor of the $5 fee for the license plate. There's been some talk about safety on the roadways, and from our standpoint, having repairs like the potholes repaired quickly equals safety for the motorist. Just last week, one of our deputies, heard on the radio, picked up 8 vehicles disabled as a result of one pothole. And that's happened time and time again. It's been a rough winter, and maintaining those repairs has been almost impossible. Snow removal, calling the snow emergencies several times this year. And the county engineers crew has done a fantastic job clearing the roads, but that's always a major issue for us. Another program that we operate is the weight enforcement program. Now, this is a funded program jointly, well, actually, the engineer funds the program, 2 full-time deputies and 2 vehicles. They check for the overloaded truck traffic around the county. Tremendous amount of truck traffic in this county. And we stopped, I think, 417 overloaded vehicles last year.
resulted in 350 fines. You would think over the years and hefty fines that that would decrease. It seems to increase every year. The fines have doubled since 2013, the amount of the fine, but yet the violations continue. It seems to be just the cost of business for the truckers, and they continue overloading, which results in damage to the roadways. So the $5 fee would help to continue that program and possibly add to it to keep up that enforcement. But like I said, from the Sheriff's Office, public safety is what we look at, and safety to our motorists. Thank you.
Thank you.
Are there any comments or questions? No? Thank you. Next, Dorsey Hager.
President Boyce, Commissioner Brown, Commissioner O'Grady, thanks for the opportunity to address you today about this issue. My name is Dorsey Hager. I'm the Executive Secretary Treasurer of the Columbus and Central Ohio Building Construction Trades Council. The Columbus Building Trades represents 18,000 highly skilled tradesmen and tradeswomen in Columbus and Central Ohio. I stand before you today to offer my support for Resolution 0273-18. The adoption of the resolution would enact an additional $5 annual license fee per motor vehicle registration. That money collected would be used to maintain roadway infrastructure, creating and sustaining building trades jobs that provide good wages and benefits. This would be a user fee for those who own registered vehicles in Franklin County and therefore drive on roads and bridges versus a widespread tax on all constituents. The Ohio Revised Code, as part of the 2017 transportation budget, authorizes boards of county commissioners to enact an additional $5 annual license fee. Currently, like Dean Ringel said, 5 other counties, Geauga, Cuyahoga, Hamilton, Summit, and Montgomery, have already enacted a motor vehicle registration fee. The Franklin County Engineer's Office has 35 roadway projects planned over the next 15 years. Enactment could shorten the timeline to 10 years. The Franklin County Engineer's Office also maintains 356 bridges. 48 of those are over 100 years old, 109 are over 75 years old, 9 bridges are rated in poor condition, and 38 of those bridges are rated in fair condition. Revenue streams to maintain roadway and bridge infrastructure are flat, and state and federal funding is decreasing. Ohio's gas tax, which is 28 cents a gallon, has not been increased since 2005. The federal gas tax, which is 18.4 cents per gallon, has not been increased since 1993. Therefore, the Franklin County Engineer's Office is unable to keep up with current maintenance schedules and replacement costs. According to Insight 2050, there will be an additional 1 million people in our region by 2050, which means vehicle miles traveled and wear and tear on roadway infrastructure will increase as well. Adopting a $5 motor vehicle registration fee would provide approximately $5.6 million annually to the Franklin County roadway infrastructure, which would go toward intersection improvements, bridge replacements, asphalt resurfacing projects, safety and corridor studies, roadway drainage improvements, snow and ice removal, and pothole repair. Maintaining our roadway infrastructure is critical to a thriving economy as a job creator and as a way to attract commercial and residential developments. Maintaining our roadway infrastructure improves our safety and quality of life. Maintaining our roads and bridges is more economically prudent than replacement after failure. In closing, I urge you to adopt Resolution 0273-18. I'm open to any questions. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, Dorsey.
Any comments or questions? No? Thank you, Dorsey.
Thanks.
Our final speaker is Michael Egbert.
Hey, good morning.
Good morning.
Thank you for the opportunity to speak today. My name is Michael Egbert. I'm a resident of Franklin County and a member of Labor's Local Union 423 here in Columbus. My union's membership is comprised of the workers who build and repair our county's streets, bridges, highways, and other type of public infrastructure. I am here today in full support of Resolution 0273-18. Franklin County's efforts to enact the additional $5 permissive fee will create work opportunities for construction workers such as myself and other Franklin County residents. Half of our locals, 1,500 plus members, live here in the county. Additionally, the construction companies employing our members are Franklin County-based businesses such as Complete General Construction, Capital Tunneling, and the Paul Peterson Company. This administration fee will be an economic boon for local businesses and workers alike. It is also imperative to point out that the construction jobs spurred by this fee will be creating quality middle-class employment opportunities.
Our members make healthy living wages along with health care and a retirement pension. Simply put, these are the type of jobs which are beneficial to the community. However, make no mistake, this fee is not an unnecessary subsidy to create more work, but rather a recognition that money coming in is not keeping up with the skyrocketing cost of raw building materials. The Mid-Ohio Regional Planning Commission's 2016 to 2040 Columbus Area Metropolitan Transportation Plan reports an annual inflation rate of at least 3% from 2018 through 2023. Additionally, the Bureau of Labor Statistics states a 4.8% rise in material prices between February 2016 and February 2017. The rising cost of building materials plus an infrastructure grid needing repairs, coupled with a population boom to Central Ohio, which demands expanding infrastructure, is a recipe for disaster unless action is taken. This additional revenue for the county, while not a cure-all, is a step in the right direction to ensure Franklin County maintains a healthy infrastructure system, while also at the same time creating middle-class jobs and a pathway for myself and other construction workers and businesses. Thank you.
Thank you.
If there are no comments or questions, thank you. That concludes our speakers, and at this time I'd like to close the public hearing and have the clerk read the next resolution into the record.
Resolution number 273-18, authorizing an additional $5 motor vehicle license fee for Franklin County, Ohio, pursuant to 4504.24 of the Ohio Revised Code.
Commissioners, this resolution pertains to the public hearing that was just held. And if you like, I can go through briefly my presentation. However, many of the points that I would make have been stated. I do have a bit of additional information, photos and video, if you would like to see that. Or in the interest of time, I'd be happy to answer any questions that you may have.
I mean, my preference would be for the watching public to give them a chance to see the presentation, even though we've seen it. If you could, get through it though, but yeah, I think it would be valuable for the public to see it.
Well, most certainly. So with my presentation, I'd like to tell a story of 4 chapters. Chapter 1, infrastructure, the importance of good roadway and bridge infrastructure. Chapter 2, a pothole. A funding pothole has formed as a result of declining revenue and increasing construction costs. Chapter 3, improvements. We have a mechanism to start filling said funding pothole. Chapter 4 will be specific projects that the county commissioners working with the county engineer can do specifically to maintain our roadways and bridges. Okay, roadway infrastructure has been mentioned. It is critical for safe and efficient travel. Good roadway infrastructure drives a thriving economy as a job creator, as a way to promote good development, both residential and commercial in nature, and also for our strong farming community in the rural parts of the county. Good infrastructure is important for public health, safety, and welfare. The things that we are interested in our society, including good education, health care, and even emergency response, rely on good infrastructure. As stated before, Franklin County is the most populated county in the whole state, and that trend is continuing. By 2050, we expect another 1 million people in our region. We also hear a lot these days about connected and autonomous vehicles, and that is certainly technology that we need to embrace because it will improve our transportation and make things safer. However, there's a chance that connected and autonomous vehicles will increase the vehicle miles traveled, thereby increasing wear and tear. And now a bit about maintenance versus replacement. I think we can all agree that it's better to maintain and pay as we go, as opposed to waiting for things to break and paying for a replacement. Pay now or pay more later. Ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure. Very similar to maintaining our own vehicles. We change the oil regularly, as opposed to waiting for the engine to lock up and having to buy a new car. This pie chart shows our funding revenue at the county engineer's office to maintain infrastructure. The largest piece of the pie is from motor vehicle license fee, $25 million. The next largest is $4.3 million, And that is a result of shared services, cooperative projects that we have with City of Columbus, City of Hilliard, Dublin, Grove City, other townships. The next piece of pie is 2.3 million, and that is from motor vehicle gas fee from state of Ohio. And this is constant. It's 2.3 million for each of the counties in Ohio, whereas the 25 million is based on the number of registered vehicles in the county. Then in purple we have 1.1 million, and that is from state and federal grants. And lastly, we have about $500,000 from other miscellaneous revenues, and those would be including things like salt, sales of salt to other agencies, sale of fuels to other agencies. And again, we just recoup our costs. We don't mark those up. Over the next 15 years, as mentioned, we have this many projects that we are looking to complete. And at the county engineer's office, we're always looking into the future. We're always prioritizing and trying to see what projects need to be worked on. And what I like about this map is it shows that we work all across the county, not just in the rural areas, but in all municipalities and all townships. The Franklin County Engineer's Office is in charge of about 800 lane miles and 357 bridges. 48 of those bridges are over 100 years old, 109 over 75 years old, 9 bridges rated poor condition, 38 bridges rated fair condition, and in the last 25 years we've rebuilt about 100 bridges, so roughly 4 bridges a year. This particular photo is Dublin Granville Road over Rocky Fork Creek, and you can see that the concrete of the abutment is beginning to spall away and the reinforcing steel is exposed that you can see rusting. Every year we inspect each and every bridge thoroughly, and these photos show some inspections being done with a guest inspector.
I can see I'm examining that bridge quite significantly.
Yes. And we appreciate your help that day. This bridge is Boer Road over Patzer Ditch. It's in the southwest part of the county in Jackson Township. And if you look at this outside beam, you can see that it's beginning to rust, and also holes are forming in the beam's web. The next photo shows an angle from underneath the bridge looking out, and you can see the light shining through the web of the beam. Now we have, in this photo, we've placed portable concrete barrier on the other side of the guardrail to keep traffic off of that beam, so just to be made aware of that situation. And now I'd like to touch on a roadway improvement project that we've had our eye on for some time. This is Reynoldsburg New Albany Road at Clark State in the northeast part of the county in Jefferson Township. You've heard resolutions on this particular intersection in the recent past. And I'd like to play this video. Reynoldsburg New Albany Road runs north and south. Clark State Road runs east and west. And if you're familiar with the intersection, this is Flanagan's Restaurant at the northwest corner. This video was taken in early March during evening rush hour, and traffic is stacked up that is trying to travel southbound. So the light just turned green for Reynoldsburg New Albany Road, and this car is trying to turn left. Folks are beginning to get frustrated. Keep your eye on this vehicle.
Go. You just gotta go. You just gotta go.
Yeah.
I slam on the gas, man.
Go.
Swerving there.
This intersection's just sorely in need of a roundabout.
Or a driver's lesson.
Lot
Cutting
of
through the
horns on.
parking lot. They'll go out of
It's messed up.
view,
It's messed up.
but soon we'll see them reappear on this western leg. There it is.
Wow.
So you can see the person wanted to make a through movement southbound.
Car still hadn't turned. Got to put a roundabout in there, Cornell.
I think you're right. So other people are getting frustrated, doing the same maneuver, which is certainly not ideal, not safe.
Illegal.
Look at that, they're all doing it.
Wow.
And here we have someone passing on the right, which also is not ideal, not safe.
Finally got to go.
Finally.
So, so the fee is also permissible for traffic calming too? I thought it was just roadway improvements and infrastructure improvements. You can do traffic calming?
That could be considered a roadway improvement. And so
Yeah.
I would feel that that would be considered an appropriate use. And roundabouts have the effect of calming traffic, but more than just calming traffic, they also increase capacity and improve safety. So, you know, that would certainly be an appropriate use of this particular fee. This intersection we've had our eye on for a long time. We have applied for OPWC funding multiple years, and this past season we applied again with a public-private partnership. You hear that a lot. And that was in conjunction with MI Homes, who had a subdivision on the south leg. And we got closer to being awarded funding, but still fell short. At this point, we are reconsidering a roundabout, and that may provide additional safety funding that would help get this project underway. We had been looking at a conventional signalized intersection with turn lanes on each leg and even additional through lanes, but we want to reconsider a roundabout.
Well, bring them to Hilliard. We love roundabouts in Hilliard. We have lots of them. Hilliard and Dublin, it's like the roundabout capital of Central Ohio.
User fees. We can buzz through these quickly. We've heard about the federal gas tax not increasing for 25 years. Ohio gas tax last increased 13 years ago. Since 2013, 26 states, including all states around Ohio, have increased their gas tax, but not Ohio. 19 states in our union have electric vehicle fees, but not Ohio. 8 states have hybrid vehicle fees, but again, not Ohio. And I don't want to sound negative towards this technology, but these vehicles do use the roads. They do add to wear and tear, and so we need to keep that in mind. The local vehicle registration fee was last increased, as previously mentioned, about 30 years ago. And so the analogy I like with this particular bullet point is that's comparable to many of our own careers. So it would be like starting our job and not having a raise for at least the cost of living over that 30-year period. So the revenue streams in the previous slides were very constant. This particular slide shows grant revenue, and that has gradually decreased over the years. And you can see in 2012, we received about 16 million. It's gradually gone down. To the point in 2017, we received about 8 million, compared to 2018, 1 million, $7 million decrease. I have some data that is specific to the Franklin County Engineer's Office about the rising construction costs, and you can see that these 3 particular items have nearly doubled in the past 4 years. The additional $5 registration fee has been mentioned. The process to be followed including the 2 public hearings, the first of which we're holding today. However, I would like to note that we had additional public meetings made available to the public in the after work hours from 5:30 to 7:30, the first on Monday, April 2nd, and the second on Wednesday, April 4th. One was on the western side of the county, the second on the eastern side of the county, to try and provide as many opportunities as possible for the constituents to come in and learn and speak for or against. We want to be completely forthcoming and transparent with this concept. The Board of Commissioners will vote for or against the measure. And our second public meeting is currently scheduled for a week from today, April 17th. If approved, the vehicle registration renewal would increase by $5 starting in January of 2019. I thought for conversation reasons we could look at a specific registration renewal, and this is one of my own for 1999 Chevrolet pickup that I have. So we'll zoom in on the lower right-hand corner that shows the detailed breakdown of the fees. And you can see that if I go as is, the cost would be $69.91 to renew. If I choose to get new plates, that would cost an additional $10.86, including the new plate fee and additional postage to mail a plate. I went to the Ohio State University in college, so if I wanted to get a specialized OSU plate, that would cost an additional $25. And if I wanted to take it one step further and get what I call a vanity plate, where I can choose my own combination of letters and numbers, that would be additional $50. Compared to the $5 for this particular proposal. Now, I agree that all those other options are to be made by the particular person, and this is not a choice. However, I think that when we're out driving around, we can remember many examples of specialized plates and vanity plates. Enacted by 5 counties so far. Those are the 5. And if approved in Franklin County, it would generate $5.6 million that we can put towards road improvements, road widenings, intersection improvements, bridge rehabilitations, bridge replacements, resurfacing programs that will minimize the reoccurrence of potholes, filling of potholes, drainage improvements along the roadway. And back to the pie chart of revenue, you can see that this additional piece of pie, $5.6 million, is substantial, and we can do a lot of good with it. As mentioned, we could utilize it to leverage additional funding and may be able to look into a transportation improvement district with a portion of this money. Then back to the capital improvement program map, we would expect that the timeline would be reduced from 15 years down to 10. This or that. This is my last slide. I love this photo. It shows why it's so nice to live in Columbus, to live in Ohio, and to live in the Midwest. We have change of seasons, and sometimes those seasons overlap. We can see that the flowering trees have already bloomed, and we got a snowfall after the fact. Now, this type of freeze and thaw cycle that we have is the reason for potholes. It's not as a result of snow or severe cold or severe heat. It's the combination of the severe heat or just warm weather combined with severe cold. Our roadways are porous, whether they're built of asphalt or concrete. And when the roadways become saturated and we get into a sub-zero or freezing weather condition, the water freezes to ice, it expands, and that is tremendous force. And then if we have the back and forth, why that just adds to the problem. And if Mother Nature wants a pothole, she'll get a pothole. And sometimes she even has a sense of humor. This one in the shape of Ohio. If we are able to enact this particular proposal, the county commissioners working with the county engineer can better maintain and improve our roadway and bridge infrastructure. Simply put, Franklin County, where government works.
So Cornell, last fall, I put 4 new tires on my wife's car. This, coincidentally, I mean, we haven't had an increase in these funds since the late 80s when, hair bands were all the rage and, Kevin was in high school. Would have liked to have seen Kevin's hair back in the late 80s. But last fall, I put 4 new tires on my wife's car, and then this winter, she's had 2 blowouts because of the potholes. Last week, she calls me and says, got a flat tire. So I, go meet her at tell her to take her car to the tire shop, and, I meet her there and switch cars, and I sit and get her a new tire. And when I'm in there, they're putting a new tire on, but they rotated all the tires. And I find out that she's got 2 bent rims that she didn't have last fall when I bought her 4 new tires. And so I'm talking, he shows me the bent rims and both the bent rims, and I'm talking to the guy, and he tells me that it's the worst pothole season that anybody at the tire shop can remember, ever, and that, coincidentally, we're talking about this after, not having an increase since, the late 80s. But we've got this pothole situation right now that is ungodly, and I, just happened to have had to have bought 4 new tires last fall, and now I got to buy two new tires. And oh, by the way, I got to buy a whole new set of rims for my wife's car. But everywhere you go right now, the Central Ohio roads are as bad as I can remember in my adult life, including right out on 70 below the building that we're sitting in.
Yeah.
The freeway right below us is god awful. Made me jump lanes the other day when I was driving in just to get here to the building the other day, or yesterday. And I know you guys are working with ODOT and you're working with, I'm sure, with the city of Columbus as well, but
Yes, sir.
how long, I mean, this replacement and repair, and it's going to take well into the spring, I would imagine.
Yeah.
And so, I mean, folks are going to have plenty of rim damage and tire damage probably for the next couple of months. And, this picture here is kind of funny that it looks like the state of Ohio, but this is no joke. There's
It's
a
not.
lot of damage going on right now, a lot of repair work going on right now. We laugh about the situation over on Clark State Road and folks, having traffic jams, but I mean, this is a transportation issue. And you've been looking at this for a long time. We've been talking about this for a long time. This is an issue that's been, you guys have spent a lot of time studying this. You spent a lot of time. Have you gotten any? I mean, we've had a lot of proponent testimony here this morning. Have you had any? Have you had any feedback? Have you had any negative feedback? Have you had anybody complaining? Any issues where you've had any opposition to this?
Yes. Well, we had the 2 additional public meetings that I mentioned at our facilities. And at the first meeting, we had 2 constituents show up. At the second meeting, 2 different constituents showed up. All 4 were in favor of this measure. So we did not have anyone show up in person to speak out against. I have participated in as many interviews as people have asked for, such as NBC4 did a television interview. I gave an interview live to 610 WTVN right during rush hour. And then I have had 2 interviews with the dispatch and 1 with WOSU. Now, as a result of some of those interviews, I have seen some comments on Facebook that would indicate that there are some folks against it. And, I would welcome the opportunity to have a conversation, and that's what I would have hoped for during our extra public meetings. Many of the calls that came into 610 after I spoke, I could have answered every one of those questions, and I think given clarity as to what this measure would do, what it cannot do, and how we operate at the county in maintaining roadways.
Those folks must not drive.
You know, it comes down to a real safety issue, let alone the financial issue of your car needing new tires and rims. It's a safety issue. I've seen several accidents
Yeah.
with somebody driving on a pothole and losing control. And we've got to keep maintaining our roads and the bridges. We surely don't want a situation that's happened in other states with bridges failing.
Correct.
This is safety. This is public safety as much as anything else, so.
Well, and it's not just freeways. It's not just major arteries either. This is, I mean, you know, you're seeing major, you know, damage on roadways on side streets, townships. I mean, you see it everywhere.
Oh, yeah.
It's, I mean, this was a particularly bad winter with the freezing and thawing and freezing and thawing. It was really bad this year, and it's everywhere from parking lots to you know, I mean, I'm noticing it everywhere, and it's you know, so there's gonna be a lot of money spent.
Last week in particular was rough. We had snow on Monday. Tuesday brought warm temperatures, thunder, lightning, and tornadoes, and then Wednesday back into the 20s. That's that severe transition back and forth, freeze and thaw.
You've got overnight lows in the 20s now, and then it's going to be in the 60s and 70s here in the next few days. You know, God forbid next week we get another freeze. So.
So for the public hearing to happen next week, we need to table this resolution today to allow for that public hearing to happen?
Yes, but before we do that, a couple
Yeah.
of questions.
Yes, sir.
So how much do we spend annually right now without the permissible fee? What do we spend now for roadway improvements and pothole repairs and so forth?
In last year's budget, it would have been about $8 million.
Okay. And for a county the size of Franklin County, what's the right amount? I mean, because even the, you know, considering the weather and where we live and the size and the growth, what would probably be an appropriate amount?
Yeah. Well, I appreciate you asking that question, because I definitely need to make the point that this isn't the cure-all. It only helps begin to fill that funding pothole that I mentioned. We're still going to need to look at innovative ways to fund our infrastructure, our maintenance, and that's how we might be able to bring in the Transportation Improvement District. So I would say that if, just right now speaking, we would probably need to increase by another 5 million, just very rough, and
To keep
you know,
pace with.
yeah, to get back in more in line with where we should be. So again, that's just me giving you a rough estimate.
Sure.
Right-
So I mean,
right off
the point I was trying to make was that we're still, you know, just scratching the surface
Yes, sir.
of what's
Yeah.
needed in the big scheme of things. Then my last question is, do we ever bond money for roadway improvements?
Yes.
And when we do, is it dedicated to specific projects, or you know, is there a fund, if you will, that sort of allows us to sort of take care of those improvements as we go?
Yeah. In the past, the bonding that we've done has been for specific projects. The Transportation Improvement District option may allow us in the future to accumulate funding as we go. And then the beauty in that is that we already have a pool of funding made available, ready to go on the smaller improvements, or we can use that pooled money to make applications for other grants. And again, it's all assembled, ready to go. And it can even open up some revenue streams that we've never been able to tap into previously. The state of Ohio has a funding source for transportation improvement districts that are run very well and efficiently. And I can assure you that if Franklin County is involved with the Transportation Improvement District, we will run it very well and efficiently.
My last question is, so what are, and these are for the public, I just think they're good, healthy questions for them to understand as we consider this fee. What's the difference between the county roads and the city of Columbus roads? So what are we responsible for versus what they're responsible for?
Okay. If you have a chance to take a look at the Franklin County highway map, we have the different jurisdictions highlighted. We have different symbols for different roadways. So for the most part, our 800 lane miles that I mentioned are more in the rural parts of the county. Those are denoted in white, just the areas are white on the county map. And the Franklin County jurisdiction roadways are a solid black line. Now, the various municipalities are color-coded. So City of Columbus is yellow, and the roads in that yellow area, you'll notice, are a little different shade. We have different color codes for Hilliard or Dublin, Grove City, Westerville. And then the state highways, they have their own symbology. And so the Franklin County Highway Map's a great reference tool for jurisdiction. Through the years, roadways and areas are annexed. And so an area that may have been maintained by the county previously would become maintenance of a new municipality. However, for the main county thoroughfares, if there's a bridge on that route, it will remain county jurisdiction for maintenance. And the best example of that is the Lane Avenue Bridge on campus. So Lane Avenue to the east and to the west has been annexed into Columbus, but the Lane Avenue Bridge is for Franklin County to inspect on a yearly basis and maintain. So as time goes on, the number of bridges that we have for maintenance will not likely decrease. There are exceptions to the rule, but for the most part, our bridges will stay constant. And our roadways may gradually decrease in the number of lane miles for maintenance. But we are able to, as a county, we are able to cross boundaries and do projects in municipalities. That is excellent because we can utilize shared services. We can make smaller projects into larger jobs, increase quantities, decrease unit prices. And the best example of that would be Riggins Road in the Hilliard area. The western half was completely in City of Columbus, the eastern half completely in Hilliard. However, there were side benefits to county routes, and so we were able to participate, administer design and construction, and that made a larger project instead of two smaller ones.
Cool. Thank you. All right, so if there are no further comments or questions, is there a motion?
I will move to table Resolution 273-18
For a week.
for 1 week.
I'll second that.
Moved and seconded voting, Commissioner Grady,
Aye.
Commissioner Brown,
Yes.
Commissioner Boyce.
Yes.
Resolution number 273-18 will be tabled for 1 week.
Great, thank you.
Resolution number 274-18, Franklin County's Engineer Office 10-year capital improvement program from Roads and Bridges.
So Commissioners, this resolution is a new concept, and it goes along with the $5 permissive fee concept. And I think that looking into the future, this would be an excellent resolution to have on an annual basis to let you know the projects that we have forecasted in it. It creates a dialogue that the folks can see, our constituents can see what we have planned. There's certainly a dialogue between the county commissioners and the county engineer's office for what we have in mind, and the opportunity for people to make other suggestions. So this particular resolution lays out in detail that list of projects that we have our eye on.
It's important to note that the capital plan is not concrete.
Yeah. Well said.
You'll get it later.
Well
Yeah,
said.
yeah. I just thought of that. I thought it was pretty funny, but yeah, whatever. You guys need to wake up. So we need to have a public hearing. Can the clerk please read the public hearing notice?
Public hearings
that's
on
for the
the
next
next
one.
issue.
Oh, I thought we were on that.
No. So move approval of 274-18.
Okay.
Second.
Oh, after that, yeah. I'm sorry.
Moved and seconded voting, Commissioner Grady,
Yes.
Commissioner Brown.
Yes.
Commissioner Boyce.
Yes.
Resolution number 274-18 has been adopted.
And now we have the public hearing. We have a public hearing. Can the clerk please read the notice?
Regarding the plan approval for the 2018 resurfacing program for various Franklin County roads, Franklin County, Ohio.
Commissioners, this is our annual program for resurfacing along the county routes. We've recently had a similar resolution for township routes. This is a resolution that is similar to our past resurfacing programs. We'll cover 13 miles over 10 different sections of roadway and would recommend your approval. If so, we'll move towards scheduling a bid opening.
I'd like to open up the public hearing for this resolution. Is there anyone here in the audience who would like to speak on this resolution, this public hearing? Seeing that there are none, I would like to close the public hearing and have the clerk read the resolution into the record.
Resolution number 275-18, plans approved for the 2018 resurfacing program for various Franklin County roads, Franklin County, Ohio.
Nothing further to add unless you have any questions for me.
Nope. Is there a motion?
Move approval of 275-18.
Second.
Moved and seconded voting, Commissioner O'Grady?
Yes.
Commissioner Brown?
Yes.
Commissioner Boyce?
Yes.
Resolution number 275-18 has been adopted. Resolution number 276-18, Crawford, Murphy, and Tilley Incorporated consulting engineers appointed to assist the Franklin County engineer in performing a preliminary engineering study for Frank Road between Harrisburg Pike and Harmon Road, Franklin County, Ohio, in the amount of $101,420.
Commissioners, this stretch of roadway is in Franklin Township, again along Frank Road from Harrisburg Pike to Harmon Avenue. And we utilize the qualifications-based selection process for Crawford, Murphy, Tilley, and would recommend your approval.
Move approval of 276-18.
Second.
Moved and seconded voting, Commissioner O'Grady?
Yes.
Commissioner Brown?
Yes.
Commissioner Boyce?
Yes.
Resolution number 276-18 has been adopted. Resolution number 277-18, Fishbeck, Thompson, Carr, and Hubert Incorporated consulting engineers appointed to assist the Franklin County engineer in preparing right-of-way and construction plans for the Olentangy River Road over Carhart Ditch project, Franklin County, Ohio, in the amount of $155,900.
Commissioners, this resolution requests authorization to enter into an agreement with Fishbeck, Thompson, Carr, and Huber, FTCH, for construction plans for the Olentangy River Road over Carhart Ditch Improvement Project. FTCH was selected via the qualifications-based selection process.
Move approval of 277-18.
Second.
Moved and seconded voting, Commissioner O'Grady?
Yes.
Commissioner Brown?
Yes.
Commissioner Boyce?
Yes.
Resolution number 277-18 has been adopted. Resolution number 278-18, Paddock Trail accepted for public maintenance and shall become part of the Jefferson Township road system.
Commissioners, this resolution seeks approval for the Paddock Trail subdivision to be accepted as part of the public road system and the maintenance responsibility turned over to Jefferson Township. We've inspected the streets and determined that they were built to meet the specification. The resolution represents the final legislative step before the developer can begin to build homes.
Move approval of 278-18.
Second.
Moved and seconded voting, Commissioner O'Grady?
Yes.
Commissioner Brown?
Yes.
Commissioner Boyce?
Yes.
Resolution number 278-18 has been adopted. Resolution number 279-18, authorizing participation in the Ohio Department of Transportation summer contract for road salt, Franklin County, Ohio.
This resolution seeks authorization to participate in the ODOT summer contract for road salt. Participation in this contract will allow Franklin County to take advantage of competitive pricing as a result of collaborative bidding. This past year, we've used approximately 11,000 tons of salt, which is approximately a 40% increase over our last 2 years.
Move approval of 279-18.
Second.
Moved and seconded voting, Commissioner O'Grady?
Yes.
Commissioner Brown?
Yes.
Commissioner Boyce?
Yes.
Resolution number 279-18 has been adopted.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank
Next,
you.
Veteran Services.
Resolution number 280-18, authorizing a consultant contract with Ohio Military Veterans Legal Assistance Project for the purpose of providing legal services for low-income Franklin County veterans in the amount of $25,000.
Good afternoon, Commissioners.
administrators. Some of our veterans are unable to meet their monthly bills and requirements, in part because of legal challenges. These challenges often impact their ability to earn income. This program, working with the Ohio Military Veteran Legal Assistance Project, a 501c3, is part of our Sustained Solution program and strategy to provide legal support to bring closure to some of these issues so that these veterans can get back into the and serve in employment, occupations, safe and sustained housing solutions. Any questions?
This is really good and important.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
Move approval of 28018.
Second.
Moved to second voting, Commissioner Grady?
Yes.
Commissioner Brown?
Yes.
Commissioner Boyce?
Yes.
Resolution number 280-18 has been adopted.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Buck.
Job and Family Services.
Resolution number 281-18, authorizing a contract with Airport Taxi Service Incorporated, LEAP, PRS, and Title 20 Transportation Service for recipients of the Franklin County Department of Job and Family Services Agency in the amount of $50,000.
President Boyce, Commissioner O'Grady, Commissioner Brown, County Admin, good morning. Arthur Hurst, Deputy Director, Job and Family Services, Development Support Services Department. The first resolution will seek to approve a contract extension with Airport Taxi Services to provide Title 20 LEAP and pregnancy-related transportation services. In March of 16, JFS contracted with Airport Taxi to provide transportation for customers eligible through Title 20, our LEAP program, and also pregnancy-related services. Franklin County Purchasing oversaw the competitive bid process and awarded a 2-year contract to Airport Taxi with the option to extend for up to 2 additional years. This resolution would extend the contract for 9 months through January 14, 2019 to coincide with plans to consolidate and rebid all Franklin County transportation contracts. All other terms, conditions, rates, and contracts are unchanged. Pending any questions, I ask for approval of this resolution.
Move approval of 28118.
Second.
Moved to second voting, Commissioner Grady?
Yes.
Commissioner Brown?
Yes.
Commissioner Boyce?
Yes.
Resolution number 281-18 has been adopted. Resolution number 282-18, approving a contract for case management services between the Franklin County Department of Job and Family Services with the City of Columbus, Department of Recreation and Park, Central Ohio Area Agency on Aging in the amount of $40,000.
This resolution will approve a memorandum of understanding between our agency and the Central Ohio Area Agency on Aging. We're looking to provide a on-site case manager 20 hours a week. The original start date of this contract was 8/1/17. It ran 7 months. We're looking to extend this one through a year. That's why they increased. The original was 20,000. We're looking to extend it to 40,000 going through February 28th of 2019. This contract is valuable from a business process standpoint because it removes the need for up to 600 people per month to not have to come into the building to determine eligibility for social services. Pending any questions, I ask for approval of this resolution.
Move approval of 28218.
Second.
Moved to second voting, Commissioner Grady?
Yes.
Commissioner Brown?
Yes.
Commissioner Boyce?
Yes.
Resolution number 282-18 has been adopted.
Thank you, Commissioners. Have a good day.
Thank you to
Thanks,
Economic
Arthur.
Development and Planning.
We have office.
No, Office on Aging.
Oh, did I skip one?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry, I did. Office of Aging. That's our way of hazing you for your first meeting.
Resolution number 283-18, authorizing a contract extension with Direct Effects Solutions Incorporated to provide implementation of workforce and technology service in the amount of $45,000.
Good morning, Commissioners, County Administration. Michelle Messler, the Director of Franklin County Office on Aging, and Amy Funk, our newly appointed Assistant Director of Administration at the Office on Aging. I present to you today the resolution for an extension to the Direct Effects Solution contract. The original contract went from September 2017 to March 12th of 2017, or 2018. And we're asking for the extension due to the change in leadership. This contract is for the implementation of the operational technology and workforce implementation as a result of the operational assessment that happened in 2016.
Thank you.
All right. Move approval of 283-18.
Second.
Moved to second voting, Commissioner Grady?
Yes.
Commissioner Brown?
Yes.
Commissioner Boyce?
No, I mean, yes.
Thank you.
Resolution number 283-18 has been adopted.
Thanks.
Economic Development and Planning.
Resolution number 284-18, authorizing agreement with Greater Columbus Sister Cities International for services that foster economic opportunities and culture partnerships between Franklin County and international communities in the amount of $75,000.
Good morning, Commissioners. James Schimmer, Director of Economic Development and Planning. Commissioners, we are asking this morning for approval of $75,000 to help offset costs associated with our support of the Greater Columbus Sister Cities International Program. Columbus Sister Cities is an important program for us in a number of different ways, and I guess I wanted to address the issue of why is international outreach important to Franklin County. There are a number of different reasons that we look at, first of which is that I think there is absolutely no denying that Franklin County is in fact a global county. We are connected in a number of different ways that are the envy of a number of our competitive counties, but that is a point I want to make because I believe a sound economic development program at a county level has to include economic development and cultural reach out. Marketing in our county is important in a number of other ways, but in education for our younger people is really important. I heard this not too long ago, and it may have actually been from Tim Sword, which was that wouldn't it be interesting if instead of a driver's license, the first official document that our younger people had in this community was a passport. That idea of global integration is something that we feel is really important. But specifically, I guess, in this contract, we are looking to encourage economic development, educational enhancement, understanding, cultural exchange between the communities that we have. And it's important to remember, commissioners as well, is that in this case, we have been working on this program since 1996 in our area, but the Sister Cities program goes back much further than that. Tim Sword is here this morning. I don't know if my fellow board member Paul Carringer is here. He is. I'd like to have both of them come up this morning and make some points. But what I will say is two last things. First of which is friends do business with friends. International economic development takes time. And it's something that we need to do in order to be involved. I wanted to introduce Paul Carringer to you and Tim Sword, who is the Executive Director, I believe, of Sister Cities. Is that your title, Tim, Executive Director?
President.
President. Okay,
Excuse my voice. I just want to thank you for your continued support of Sister Cities on behalf of the Board of Directors. Because of the vital partnership we have with the county, we're able to marry that with the city funding and the corporate community. But more so, the county also gives us resources so we can direct some of our focus on these relationships with our 10 international sister cities in community development and economic, searching for economic opportunities, both for them and for us, obviously. So I just wanted to point that out, that your unique support to us allows us to focus on that more. We've had a lot of success with our organizations and students. There's potential to do much, much more, but I think the vitality of these organizations, we have to see economic exchange. So one person I wanted to introduce is Paul Carringer, a board member, and also one of our global partners, which are companies and individuals who contribute to the funding of our organization, but he wanted to say a few words.
Good morning, Commissioners,
Good morning.
staff, and members of the audience. Thank you for allowing me to speak. I wanted you to see a living, breathing, heart-beating example of your investment. Back when the Marathon Exchange through Greater Columbus Sister Cities occurred in 2012, I had a son that didn't want to go anywhere but Clintonville. And we left Clintonville, went to Germany. He just was, and I'm very proud dad, awarded a Fulbright scholarship, and it's because of your investment. We need travel, we need global enhancement of education, and we're doing it. Columbus State in September will welcome both students and faculty from Dresden, Germany, to our campus, and then we'll send students and faculty there because of this program that you invest in. And then finally, I want to say, as a member of the community, oftentimes we get to see the potholes filled, but we don't get to see the people who are part of this community who are enhanced in many ways by what you do, and we're thankful for that. My company is working with a Chinese company, again, because of your investment. Economic development, educational enhancement, family enhancement, the betterment of our community is what you're investing in here, and we thank you for that.
Thank you, Paul.
Well, Paul, thank you for being here. Tim, thanks. Franklin County's had a rich involvement and partnership with Sister Cities for quite some time. My colleagues and I have all, and my previous colleagues and I have all been involved with Sister Cities for some time. I know Commissioner Kilroy back in her day traveled with Sister City and promoted Franklin County, as did Commissioner Brooks, Commissioner Brown, myself, and I know Commissioner Boyce has done some international travel as well. My children are avid and excited about international travel. My daughter spent a semester in Galway, Ireland last fall. My son, who's a freshman in high school, will spend a week in China next March. So they've caught the bug from their parents. I spent with Tim's predecessor, Barbara Pratzer. My wife and I spent a couple of weeks in India along with Director Shimmer and County Deputy Administrator Janice back in 2011. I've done some international travel with 2020 to Canada a few times. Commissioner Brown has been to not only Israel but to Curitiba, and I know Commissioner Brooks traveled to China several times, and so we are very active and very proud of that, and we want to continue that. And Tim and I are getting ready, along with Jim and Lauren Rummel from my staff, are getting ready to head to Spain in a couple of weeks. We're going to spend some time in Spain, so we are very proud of this, and hopefully Kevin will be able to find some interest and find some place that he's interested in here before too long. And I know that Council President Hardin, I just saw him the other night, and he's cannot wait for this trip to Spain in a couple of weeks. And so we are anxious to spread the good news of Central Ohio when we get to Spain. So thanks for being here. We really appreciate it.
I think with President Boyce, he has the opportunity among a number of his firsts to be maybe the first marathon running commissioner in a foreign community.
Oh, there you go.
Let's do it. Let's do it.
There you go.
All in.
There you go. Well, I will move approval of Resolution 284-18.
I'll second.
Moved and seconded voting, Commissioner O'Grady,
Yes.
Commissioner Brown,
Yes.
Commissioner Boyce.
Yes.
Resolution number 284-18 has been adopted.
Thank you, Commissioners.
Community partnerships.
Resolution number 285-18, authorizing a contract with Primary One Health to provide health care services to underinsured or uninsured Franklin County residents in the amount of $475,000.
Commissioners, this is Dana McCrary, Community Partnerships. This resolution is just allowing us to assist Primary One Health in expanding the work that they do in providing healthcare services to under and uninsured Franklin County residents. So pending any questions, I would request approval of this resolution.
Move approval of 285-18.
Second.
Moved and seconded voting, Commissioner O'Grady,
Yes.
Commissioner Brown,
Yes.
Commissioner Boyce.
Yes.
Resolution number 285-18 has been adopted. Resolution number 286-18, authorizing a contract with the Physicians Care Connection to provide comprehensive health care service to under and uninsured Franklin County residents in the amount of $300,000.
This next resolution with Physicians Care Connection is supporting the very important work they do in providing not only primary care but specialty care to under and uninsured residents of Franklin County. I'm very pleased this morning to have Mary Mutegi here, who is the program coordinator with Physicians Care Connection, and she has a number of her staff here too. We're so proud to be able to work with Physicians Care Connection. It's an exemplary program, and so pleased to have Mary here on this, their 25th year of service.
Well, just want to say thank you so much. It's always a pleasure to come here, and supporting us for those 25 years has not been easy, but we've done a great, work in this community, helping the underinsured, the uninsured, and just, enabling them get better health, reducing them from using the emergency room for unnecessary visits. The program has seen a lot of people, through work. We've helped with with dental folks with dentures, and they're able to get work, because without teeth, you can't get a job. We had one guy that had, he's a chef, and he said he couldn't get a work because his teeth were really bad, and just helping him get dentures, he was able to get this job, and he came back and he really appreciated us. So that funding goes a long way to support this. So with my staff here, some of them have been beneficiaries of the services that we provide, so they understand the need in this community, so they're able to provide their work at their best. And so it's always a pleasure if they're the ones that are doing all the work, and without your support, we would not have gotten this far. So thank you so much.
The comprehensive care that you provide with such dignity to everybody coming through your doors is just phenomenal. I've been over there. I know one of my staff members was just there.
Yes.
And was just incredibly impressed with how people are treated as they're getting the treatment that they need. And it makes a difference. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
I would just add too that I was having a conversation with Kimball Perry of the Dispatch earlier today, and we were talking about how that kind of access to healthcare can really be the difference between poverty and sustainability. And I use the example of myself getting glasses when I can't remember about the time, but I had gone quite a bit of time in my scholastic years without glasses and didn't realize I needed them because we didn't have insurance and didn't know where to navigate to get those resources. But once my mom got a job that had benefits, I was able to get glasses, it really changed my educational experience. And it's, somewhere in the equation of where I am today in terms of college graduation and those kinds of things was that moment, that experience to have access to the kind of health care need that really can change your life. And I was sharing I'm actually legally blind, and so I can't see without corrective lenses. So I mean, imagine as a person in a classroom trying to learn. And so, I mean, think of families that have those challenges like the gentleman who discussed with the dentures, the dental care. And so what you do makes a difference. It's really a game changer for the lives and quality of life for people in Central Ohio. Thank you.
We appreciate it. Thank you so much.
We can move, let's go ahead and pass this resolution, and then we'll give this resolution.
Move approval of 28618.
Second.
Moved and second voting, Commissioner O'Grady,
Yes.
Commissioner Brown,
Yes.
Commissioner Boyce.
Yes.
Resolution number 286-18 has been adopted.
Dana, you want to do the honors? To announce the celebration. We'll call you back forward to present you with a resolution celebrating the 25th year anniversary of your organization and the great work that you're doing in Central Ohio. Thank you. I would encourage you to continue to do that kind of work. You want to say some more comments?
Many more years.
Sure, please. We want to present you with a resolution, so if you want to make some more comments, you can.
Oh, this is an honor. This is very nice. Thank you.
All of you come up for the picture.
Many more years.
Resolution number 287-18, authorizing a one-year contract with the Center for Family Safety and Healing to provide assistance to victims of domestic violence in the amount of $230,000.
Commissioners, this resolution would assist the Center for Family Safety and Healing in their work to help applicants who are helping domestic violence victims who are seeking protective orders, as well as people who are looking for support in filing for divorces or child custody agreements, things like that, as well as for victims of domestic violence who are coming forward pro se, making sure their paperwork is in order. So pending any questions, I would request passage of this resolution.
I'll move for passage of 287-18.
Second.
Moved and second voting, Commissioner Brown?
Yes.
Commissioner Boyce?
Yes.
Resolution number 287-18 has been adopted.
Thank you.
Next, Homeland Security and Justice.
Resolution number 288-18, appointing 5 members to the Homeland Security Advisory Committee.
Good morning, Commissioners.
Good morning.
Kathy Crandall, Homeland Security and Regional Communications. The Homeland Security Advisory Committee is the urban area work group appointed by you and required by the Department of Homeland Security as a condition of being awarded Homeland Security grant funds. The committee includes subject matter experts representing law enforcement, fire, EMS, communications, emergency management, public facilities, the private sector, health, hospitals, schools, the Port Authority, and governmental agencies. The duties of this committee include the competitive review and recommendation for grant-funded projects, an analysis of our core capabilities and informing the gap analysis that we need, which leads to the development of planning and exercises that we carry out here in the urban area. Pending any questions, I recommend your appointment of these 5 individuals to the Homeland Security Advisory Committee.
I'll move for passage of 288-18.
Second.
Moved and second voting, Commissioner Brown?
Yes.
Commissioner Boyce?
Yes.
Resolution number 288-18 has been adopted.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Next, Public Facilities Management.
Resolution number 289-18, adopting the 2018 through 2022 5-year capital improvement plan and appropriation adjustments for construction maintenance projects.
Good morning, Commissioners. Darla Reardon, Director, Public Facilities Management. Today we are requesting your approval of PFM's 5-year capital improvement plan. This updated 5-year CIP exhibits how Franklin County is making prudent, forward-looking decisions. The plan meets the current operational needs of county offices and agencies and also acknowledges the need to allocate funds for critical maintenance and preservation of our existing facilities to sustain them for the long term. This resolution includes supplemental appropriations to be utilized for 2018 projects such as completion of the Veterans Plaque Project, wayfinding design for the Downtown Government Center, various facility maintenance and preservation initiatives, and an update of the master plan to determine the county's long-term capital and space needs. The CIP is a blueprint for making capital expenditures, but it is not concrete. It remains a dynamic plan. Sorry, it's late in the game here. It remains a dynamic plan subject to the forthcoming master plan recommendations and available funding. PFM will incorporate the principles of environmental protection, economic growth, and sustainability in the implementation of projects identified in this CIP. Pending any questions, we request your approval of this action, adopting the 2018 through 2022 capital improvement plan and authorizing a supplemental appropriation. Thank you. Sorry, concrete gave me the window.
I thought it was an excellent joke.
Nobody else got it.
Oh, it's because of your corny. You love corny stuff.
I totally do. Totally.
Yeah. So, Darla, this is all something that we have to do also based on, and Ken, and Zach, based on the rating agencies need this as well, correct?
Kenneth Wilson, County Administrator. Yes, this is something that we share with the rating agencies. Matter of fact, we will be sharing this with rating agencies here in a couple weeks when we have our rating presentations on our upcoming sales tax revenue bond issue.
Good, okay.
It's always important to have the plan here and then make adjustments as we need. But, you know, the things you've got here are the things that really we need to keep maintained. And there's a lot of work that goes into putting this together.
Yeah, the rating agencies need to know that, you know, from a financial standpoint, we've got a strong plan for our financial health that, you know, we've planned out for the coming 5 years, what we're gonna do with this, you know, the maintenance and upkeep of our facilities, along with all the other things that we do to show a strong financial health. It's just one more piece of the puzzle. So, all right, thank you. Move approval of Resolution 28918.
Second.
Moved to second voting, Commissioner O'Grady?
Yes.
Commissioner Brown?
Yes.
Commissioner Boyce?
Yes.
Resolution number 289-18 has been adopted.
Thank you.
Human Resources.
Resolution number 290-18, authorizing a modification to the contract with United Healthcare Services Incorporated for medical plan administration services for the Franklin County Cooperative Health Improvement Program.
Good morning.
Good
Jody
morning.
Lease, Assistant Director, Department of Human Resources. This modification to the United Health Care Services contract adds United Healthcare's digital weight loss program, Real Appeal, to the suite of programs and services that we offer to members in the Franklin County Cooperative. Real Appeal is a 52-week weight loss program, and participants are engaged in weekly online group sessions with a health coach or a transformation coach. And they also have the opportunity to engage one-on-one with that coach outside of the weekly sessions as well. Each member receives a toolkit mailed to their home that includes items that they will use as they progress through the program, things such as a food scale or a portion plate, exercise bands, videos, things of that nature. And Real Appeal also provides participants with 24-hour access to their portal. And that has an extensive library of tips and tools and additional information that they can use in the program. And they can also track their progress on the website. We always like to see how we are doing in the progress that we're making to reinforce that work that we're doing. The cost of the program is funded through our claims, through our medical claims, and with the exception of the initial assessment charge, all costs are based on member participation and weight loss progress. So pending any questions, I request approval of this resolution.
Move approval of 29018.
Second.
Moved to second voting, Commissioner O'Grady?
Yes.
Commissioner Brown?
Yes.
Commissioner Boyce?
Yes.
Resolution number 290-18 has been adopted.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Jody. I noticed you didn't bring the little trophy, Jody. Do you have a little trophy envy from the big trophy from earlier? Oh, purchase.
Yeah, I recall, I said
Oh, okay.
purchasing already.
Resolution number 291-18, approving purchases for various Franklin County agencies in the amount of $974,068.13.
It's just me.
It's just Carl.
Good morning, Commissioners. Carl Cuthbert, representing the Purchasing Department. The resolution before you requests for approval of 91 purchase orders. Of the total purchase orders, there are 15 purchase orders for small emerging business enterprises, which equals 16.5% of the purchase order volume. The total dollar amount is $113,150.41, which equals 11.6% of the purchase order dollar volume. These purchase orders have been pre-certified as availability funds by the county auditor. Pending any questions, I recommend their approval.
Move approval of 29118.
Second.
Moved and second voting, Commissioner O'Grady?
Yes.
Commissioner Brown?
Yes.
Commissioner Boyce?
Yes.
Resolution number 291-18 has been adopted.
Thank you, Carl.
Thank you, Board of Commissioners.
Resolution number 292-18, authorizing the county administrator to enter into an agreement on behalf of the Board of Commissioners with Ology LLC for the purpose of brand strategy and identity work.
Good morning, Commissioners. Marty Homan with Public Affairs. The resolution before you would authorize the county administrator to enter into an agreement with Ology for the purpose of brand strategy and identity work. Late last year, at your direction, in consultation with county administration and the purchasing department, we solicited proposals from about a dozen local firms to update the BOC logo and tagline. 8 proposals were received and scored by an evaluation team. 4 were brought in for in-person presentations. Following both rounds, Ology had the highest combined score. They're a local woman-owned business. Pending any questions, we request your approval.
Move approval of 292-18.
Second.
Moved and second voting, Commissioner O'Grady,
Yes.
Commissioner Brown.
Yes.
Commissioner Boyce.
Yes.
Resolution number 292-18 has been adopted.
Thank you. Are there any generalizations?
No.
Okay. I wanted to make sure that we approved for the minutes appropriately. Could you just double check that in the records? Administrator thought we might have missed something. Did we? We're okay?
Yeah, we should be, because I had,
That we got all of the, we did all of the previous minutes?
you did the 16th, 22nd, and the 8th.
Yep, okay, just want to make sure. Yep, okay, yep. Sure, all right, that concludes our meeting, thank you. Here's these.
Take care.